Okay, I'm back. Finally on time, too. It's just barely been 10 minutes, so. Let's get back into it, shall we? Got a little snack, too. Had time to eat a little something while standing up.
They found traces of what looks like a large-scale battle in these ruins. They uncovered piles of bones that were all scratched up.
They must have been fighting monsters too.
The thing is, the scratch marks suggested they were inflicted by people.
I think I'm a bit jealous of you, Sarah. You can travel to the past or the future, and if you find somewhere you like, you can just stay there. Huh. I've never thought of it
That's true.
like that. I've been so focused on finding my sister. Well, of course you are.
You can just stay there if you want to,
why I
yeah.
wanted to show you the Oracle Drive?
I think I do. You've been looking for lightning too all this time.
Yes. It's not much of a clue, but I thought you should see it all the same. And I wanted you to see how far we've come.
So, since they already hinted at the fact that there might be alternate timelines / parallel dimensions, like where Noel might have come from, maybe this whole thing is just Sarah from a different timeline where Lightning ended up sacrificing herself. Along with Fang and Vanille. And it's a different timeline from the one we experienced when we went through FF13, and Lightning did not do that. She survived and was there with everyone else at the end. Maybe it's just a bunch of parallel dimensions meshing together. Maybe the Lightning in Valhalla is the one we know of, maybe it's not. See, all sorts of questions come up when it comes to time travel and parallel dimensions. That's what makes it great though, right? What makes it interesting. How confusing it can get, how crazy it can get. How much freedom there is with the writing when you think about it that way. I think that's why a lot of people don't like it though, because it's so convoluted that some people just want things to be more simple than that, but hey, it's a fantasy game, guys. It's called Final Fantasy. The very first Final Fantasy game ever had time travel in it as a central plot concept, though it's not revealed until the end as a plot twist, but still. It's like, it's literally a time loop and you have to solve it. So, you know, it is what it is. So Help has been analyzing the Oracle Drive and the images that appear to be lightning. What should I ask him? Tell us about the Padre Ruins. Do you know Valhalla? How does the Oracle Drive work? Who was the Cirrus?
Hope, have you ever heard of Valhalla?
I've seen the name in the Padron texts we recovered. A forgotten region, I think.
Was there anything more? That's the place where Noel met Lightning.
I'm sorry. We've only been able to decode fragments. The only other thing we've found is a reference to some invisible or unseen realm. We've still barely scratched the surface here.
Random to think about this now, since it's been a while since this conversation happened between Snow and Noel. But now I'm thinking about the fact that Noel is kind of like Snow in a way.
If only the pay were a little better.
The way he rushed in to help Sarah. Granted, it was his mission to do so because Lightning asked him to, and he felt like it was what he was supposed to do, but still. I was just thinking back at the beginning of the game, when everything started. When Sarah was being attacked on the beach, and Noel came in to save her and told her she had to learn to fight, to defend herself. He rushed in just like Snow would have, so I can see why, you know, Sarah was like, you're not too different from him, you know. Actually, sorry, Snow was the one who said that to him. He said, you're not that different from me. And I mean, yeah, every time... Look at what happened with the boss encounter at the beginning here, right before we met Hope. The giant anima-looking enemy or whatever. He just rushed in and karate kicked it before the fight started. Just like Snow would have. The difference is their attitude. Noel's all serious and Snow's all, like, lighthearted and sort of like... somewhat more like a Goku type, where he's just like, yeah, this will be fun. Let's do it, you know? He's more of a get down to business, get out of the way kind of thing. But they both rush in. You know, they say we hate in other people what we hate in ourselves. Projection, right? We project things that we don't like about ourselves onto others. Yada yada. But maybe it is just because of that, his similarities to Snow, that he doesn't like. But that's why he doesn't like Snow. But that isn't to discredit what Sarah's theory also. He probably knew someone just like Snow in his time, and they ended up getting themselves killed or something. This disconnected NPC dialogue is like, what the fuck is that guy talking about? What's going on? Oh yeah, I should probably speed it up now a little bit. Travel.
There's a considerable time-space distortion up ahead.
Thanks. Well, it says that's our objective, so this is a time gate. Isn't this where we started? Oh no, it's not. It's a new one.
Here, this must be the gate Hope was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Yeah? What?
What's wrong?
There's something on your mind.
Yeah, well, sure, but it's just personal stuff.
Bothered by the Moogle. Said about the Oracle Drive. I won't ask them. Said about the Cirrus.
Is it about the Cirrus?
That's right. Nice guess.
It must be so strange to be able to see beyond your own present.
That reminds me of something Lightning told me. She said that from Valhalla, you can see all of history.
She did say that.
If that's true, then the Padre Cirrus and Lightning have seen the same things. Which means Lightning already knows what's going to happen to us.
Is it really that simple though?
Something had been bothering Noel. And it had been ever since we heard the story about the Padre Cirrus Yule. But, of course, he wasn't the only one who was troubled. Was it really lightning I saw in the flickering images of the prophecy? The only way to find out is to go through this portal and solve the paradox.
It didn't look like she was in the same place as Ragnarok in the flashbacks we saw though. The flickers, I guess. The scenes we saw of Lightning when Ragnarok was doing its thing to save Cocoon, they looked like she was on that racetrack at the end of the first game when they came back to Cocoon and started fighting the army again. The Sanctum army. It looked like visions of that scene. Not necessarily her, you know, trying to help Ragnarok stop Cocoon's fall. It didn't quite line up. Time reversal unlocked? Oh, meaning you can rewind and replay the chapter, right? And answer differently and change the story. Forgot about that feature from last time. They explained it.
Erebor, Grand Pulse, a land that bears the scars of ancient war,
200
where
AF.
flakes of crystal gather and shift like sand in the
Oh,
desert.
right.
The Academy has restricted access to this place because it is the homeland of the two
Yeah.
heroines who turned to crystal and held Cocoon safe in the sky. It is a land that now, 200 years later, has been swallowed into a rift between time and space.
Yeah, I was like, that's where Vanille and Fang's old home is. So you can see it in the background. That's an image of, a scrolling image of what it looked like in the original, well, the first game. keep saying the original. I just mean to say the first game. That little robot that Vanille had, and Saz helped fix it. That was cute. It looked like Wally, that little robot. That just reminded me of it, probably because of its eyes. So now it's gonna look a lot different though, right?
What's happening? The world is falling apart.
Is this a future where everything has been destroyed? Or is it a distant past before the world has even come into being?
Space-time has doubled and twisted on itself. The past and future are tangled together as one, Kupo.
Paradox is affecting space-time itself.
Right. And we have to find
Kind of-
out what's causing this.
What it's been doing the whole damn game, honestly.
Okay.
They act like it's something new, but it's like, isn't that what it's always been
They
doing?
created the paradoxes. Did they really want an empty, dead world?
In a world abandoned by the Fal'Cie, the ones who are left behind craved nothingness, an empty world.
Where did you hear that?
It's just an old fairy tale.
Well, sometimes things like that are rooted in truth, though. Is that a fragment? Yep. Giant egg. Yeah, here's the old destroyed highway.
Go, Mom.
It's like a maze. A crossroads within the paradox itself.
In this space-time, the past and future intersect. I bet if we solve all these puzzles, we could dissolve the current paradox.
Now you're thinking, Kupo.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but so that means we're gonna have more than one to do? Or do we just basically do this every time we come into this kind of world, I guess? Crystals of the same shape and color. Explanations like this go right over my head. I'm a hands-on learner. Like, reading that, I'm just like, what? No, I need to actually start doing it myself to... Or get a more visual example than just words for something like that. Otherwise, I don't... It just goes over my head. Oh, it's a little... Kate Sith shape. Oh, I see. And then let go of the button. Yeah, you just... Oh, I see. It's to connect the dots. So that's what it was. Okay. Connect the crystals, yeah. Maybe the tutorial window actually said that. Like, it was... The name of the tutorial was probably something like Connect the Crystals, and I didn't see that. I just went straight into reading the main body of the text. Yeah, it's starting to look more familiar now. Time Stardust. Guessing there's gonna be a lot more puzzles like that one then. For this particular area, just to restore it all. It's so fucked up and warped.
It doesn't look like we can go any further this way.
If we can't find a rift, then we can't get rid of the paradise. Maybe we should try searching a different area.
Yeah, this is very familiar. I remember this spot, yeah. This is the house, right? There's a little robot. You go up the stairs here and it's where Vanille and Fang lived. Well, the whole community. Shared the housing everywhere and stuff. It's kinda cool though. The exact sort of recreation of that same area in the first game. Even the enemies are the same. I guess you can't go inside this time. The house. But you can't see a little robot. Damn. There it is. Alright, what's this puzzle gonna be?
Another head scratcher.
Oh, more connect the dots, but just a different shape. Made that one look way easier than the last one. Oh, multiple stages this time, great. The trick is that you have to connect the same colored ones first. You can't just go connecting all of them in any order. I guess that's what the tutorial was trying to say, that it kind of went over my head the first time.
No problem.
Hey, we did it.
Splendiferous?
Another head scratcher.
Oh, it's one of those robots. Is that what they called again? Little pulse robots. Damn! That's a hell of a shape to discern. Big ass blob. Wolf. Alright, it's starting to look back like it's old normal self again.
Right on schedule. Now we find a gate and its artifact.
There might be other things to discover too. It looks like everything's back to normal.
That's why I go at 1.5 speed normally. I missed part of what she said.
Now we find a gate and its artifact.
There might be other things to discover too. It looks like everything's back to normal.
Okay. Yep, it's just like we left it. Right before that second Bartandalus fight. Kind of nice to see a very familiar place. Thing's big ass gaping mouth. Is that an artifact? A fragment? Yep. An artifact, wow. Little Among Us dude. Now we can go this way. And there's a time gate.
Sorry.
What did that say that was? 3 what? Thief tears. That's pretty sad. Wasn't there a Hypno Crown here in the first game too? I wonder if that was on purpose. I wonder why they're doubling back like this. Did they hit a dead end? Or just decide to go this way? Suddenly.
Erba, this was their home. But now they're frozen in Cocoon's crystal pillar, never to return. They slept for centuries. And then they awoke again, in our time. Though they came from Grand Pulse, they became Cocoon's saviors.
So you're saying they traveled through time to save the future?
Yeah, I guess they did in a way.
Their time travel method was quite linear and straightforward though. being in crystal stasis against their own will. I remember this place.
It looks like an oracle drive.
Yeah.
Stop.
What the hell?
Sarah!
Wait, who the hell said that? Oh, it's her.
Sarah!
That's weird. When they were looking at the Oracle Drive from far away, I thought there was a person standing there, and it was just the Oracle Drive by itself. Like, nothing to do with her appearing back there. Like, I didn't predict that or anything. I'm just saying, like, I thought there was a person standing there, and it was actually just the Oracle Drive. Oh shit. Yeah, this was the actual ending of FF13.
Lightning. Lightning. Sarah.
Right when she decrystallized and was reunited with Sarah.
Hey, the apologies can wait. You got a wedding to plan, right? Right? Like, come on. What do you say?
You only have a limited amount of time on Earth. I remember saying
I
that.
swear to you, I will make her happy.
Can't waste time.
I believe you.
Memories. They're real, aren't they?
What's real and what's not?
Who can they be? Prophecy. It's been changed.
But that's impossible.
If you change the future, you change the past.
It keeps changing?
Time is an ocean, right?
Constant.
So changing the future changes the past, and changing the past changes the future.
Ah, yes.
Jesus Christ.
I have seen you. I have seen you both.
Yule.
What? You mean Osiris?
I am not the Yule you know.
But
You must understand, there are many Yules.
Is that Bartandalus' voice actor? Because I was like, he sounds just like him. It just sounds like he was doing a more old man gruff voice back then because he was, you know, playing the part of an old man. But it sounds exactly like Bartandalus.
Wait. I saw you. My sister was fighting you.
what are you doing here in this time?
I learned of your journey, leaping back and forth along the timeline. Yule has been watching everything you do.
I think it is the same voice actor.
Watching us?
Yes. I see you understand the significance of that. Then you must also understand that I am here for a reason. Your actions have necessitated the strictest sanctions.
Hey, hold on a second. What do you mean, sanctions?
I must protect the sanctity of the timeline.
Caius!
Caius Ballard. What's his last name? The Eye of Bahamut. That's right, he did use a form of Bahamut, didn't he? When he was fighting against lightning. The interesting connection there. Thanks, old Adolin.
You shall pay for your crimes in blood.
Sarah! Stop this, Caius. I am not going to fight you.
Times have changed. I'm not the Caius you once knew. To change history is a sin.
It's too late. The timeline has already changed.
But must we accept this, Yule?
If you change the future, you change the past. You can remold history as your heart desires.
Let's go now, before you are made to witness more. Come.
Yule.
Kupo? An artifact, Kupo!
What does Caius want?
No.
A lot of questions to remain. Who is Caius? Why did Yule appear here? Will this fix the Oracle Drive in the past? And how much would the artifacts sell for? Again, the joke questions. You can be a complete asshole.
That man, Caius. Who is he exactly? I've seen his face before, in my dream.
I thought I recognized him, but I don't think he's the man I used to know. He couldn't be here. Not in this time.
It's interesting though. In, you know, at the beginning of the game in Valhalla, we saw Yule die. Or at least he disappeared. So that's probably a different Caius. And a different Yule. Probably from the future. And this Caius and Yule are different. Or maybe not. But also, I know I've said it before, but I like when they let you, you know, the whole being able to choose your responses and everything. But I like that they always include like joke ones like that too. Like how much would it cost or whatever, how much would it sell for? Because, you know, it just adds a little bit of extra layer of freedom when it comes to roleplay, and that's the whole point of a role-playing game, is it not? I think the last time I mentioned how much I liked that was my first time playthrough of Shadowbringers. But I might have also mentioned it again sometime during this marathon. In the previous Final Fantasy game. I think it was 10-2, I remember now. Final Fantasy 10-2. You could give responses where you could just run around being an asshole and be like, I don't want to help people. You know, when people ask you for help, you can just be like, nope, I don't feel like it. Anyway.
She was the same. The same face, the same voice. But even so, she didn't know me at all.
You mean you?
Yes. Well, no questions?
Be hard for you to answer. Sorry, I drifted off. I mean, that's happened to me a couple times during this playthrough, but not right now. I won't ask where it's personal.
Seems to me that if I ask, you'd have a hard time trying to answer. I know what it feels like, not being able to explain how you feel, so I won't ask.
Thanks, Sarah. We'll talk about it soon.
Sure. Lightning, Noel and I traveled to Erba. You wouldn't believe how much happened to us there. We found a prophecy that the Seeress of the Farseers had recorded. We saw a young girl called Yule, just like the Seeress. And we met a man named Caius, the man you were fighting in my dream. I guess what worries me the most, though, is that Noel looks sad. Sadder than I've ever seen him. And there's something else, too. The strange thing that both Caius and Yule said about the past. If you change the future, you change the past. I'm afraid of what that might mean for us. When Noel and I solved the paradox, we changed the future. Does that mean the past of Hope and the others has also changed?
Whimsical headdress? I feel like we've seen that in a previous Final Fantasy game. Don't remember which one. Changing the past. Thanks to Sarah and Noel, a new timeline has been created. When a parallel world is unlocked, the 0 in the year is replaced with an X. For example, 1X AF is 10 years after the fall of Cocoon. I was right, AF does mean after the fall. Same as 10 AF, with a 1 and a 0. But the people have different memories as they've led different lives. It's an alternate timeline because you change the future and it changed the past. You can still return to the original date and location at any time by using the Historic Crux. Okay, so that explains why the map structure for the time gates here is structured the way it is. Those are all alternate timelines, that's why they're set up like that. Sort of, yeah. If the little dots between time gates there means that's like a singular timeline right there. And then there's another one under that. Okay. Now the map is starting to make a little bit more sense why they made it this way. Is it the same description, or did they just forget to allow that to read out? Because they just kind of whoop, skipped the whole intro to the place. So what's different now? Oh, you can move the loading screen? I saw them do that, the little rotation they did.
The sun is back in the sky.
The eclipse is over. Or it never existed in the first place. History here has changed.
If the paradox didn't happen, then maybe Hope never had any reason to come here.
There's still the Oracle Drive. Maybe that would have been enough of a draw for him. Only one way to find out.
Yule said that changing the future will also change the past. Is this what she meant? The eclipse doesn't happen because we solved the paradox in the future?
Maybe. But we can't be sure.
But isn't that how it works? Is Caius behind the paradoxes? How can the future affect the past, or will it fix the Oracle Drive?
But I don't get it. I can see how the past can affect the future. But how does it work in reverse? It makes no sense at all.
Only if...
Well, damned if I know. Maybe Hope or Alyssa can tell us.
Only if the theory about time being a flat circle or an ocean. Then the past is the future and the future is the past. Because it's a circle.
It caused the eclipse.
It kind of keeps repeating itself, and hence a time loop.
Future, maybe?
That's the only way it would make sense. If it was a flat circle, changing any part of it is like changing the past. It'll affect the future. What happens after when it does another rotation. Therefore, there's, in that case, the past and the future are an illusion at that point. There is no beginning or end to a circle. Therefore, there can be no past or future. That's why, in that sense, you could say it works both ways. If you're looking at it like that. Changing the future could change the past. In a circular fashion, yeah.
Who knows?
Come on, Mom.
And just to elaborate a little bit, the whole time is a flat circle theory is if you accept that theory, it's accepting that everything is predestined to happen. It's already set in stone. I have a feeling people aren't fans of that one simply because it just robs you of your free will at that point, doesn't it? Anything you're gonna do, you already did, or were destined to do. Because you've done it a million times before. An infinite number of times. Because it keeps repeating itself. It's a circle, right? So. And yeah, that's another valid theory people have come up with for the universe and everything that's happened in it, including our lives. Maybe it's already happened a bunch of, you know, millions of other times and it's just gonna keep happening. We're doomed to relive our lives in these moments over and over. But we'll never remember. Because every time we're born anew, fresh mind. You remember anything from a past life, assuming you had one?
Welcome home.
How did you...
Yule. Did you come through the gate too?
The one you met was a different Yule.
Thought so. I was like, she seems different.
What?
So, you don't know me either?
I know about you. I've been watching you both.
You can see the future, can't you?
I can trace the timeline. I see the future and lead others along the correct path. I came here to confirm something I already know. You and I are the same.
What do you mean?
A seer?
You, too, can show others the way.
I mean, we saw that symbol in Sarah's eyes at one point too, so...
I don't get it. How are we the same?
Sarah's also a Farseer? A Seeress? Whatever.
It looks like Yule lives in this time too.
Noel, are you okay?
Yeah, it was just so unexpected. Threw me for a loop.
You don't say. This entire game throws you for a fucking loop, literally. Does Yule have a twin? Is Kai's here too? How am I the same as Yule? Is Yule the Farseer as Seeress? Yeah, that's what I meant basically. I think Sarah's a Seeress then. The time gate symbol appeared in her eyes too. Forgot what scene it was when that happened, but...
I wonder if Caius is somewhere around too. Like he was back in Erba.
If he does show up again, it's going to be trouble.
Uh-huh.
Seems like
Next
it,
time, I don't think he'll be so quick to let us go.
Yeah. Fingers crossed there is no next time.
Yeah, so I was right then. That was a different
Journey
Yule.
through time.
A past or future Yule that died during the intro cinematic of the entire game.
Solved the paradox. And met two girls who looked exactly the same. And now, at last, we found our way back to Hope's Oracle Drive. He'll be waiting for us. Or perhaps he won't. Maybe after all this time, Hope has forgotten us.
I was afraid of what would happen if no one was here.
I guess the ruins were interesting enough. They didn't need the paradox to draw them here.
Seems that way.
Perhaps a lost technology.
Dogs make much better pizza.
That old debate, huh?
Awesome.
Why is it so crowded today? It doesn't look like a paradox would be
director. Who are you waiting for?
I don't know. But I think he'll be here soon.
Doesn't know who he's waiting for, but assumes they'll be here soon. What the hell changed in this timeline?
In a world where the paradox was solved, the eclipse never darkened the sky in the first place. No one remembered that Noel and I had been here. But even so, Hope was there, waiting for us. Of course, his memories had changed. We had our 10-year reunion all over again, as if our last meeting had never happened. When we explained his memories had changed because the paradox had been dissolved, Hope believed us without question. And then...
Well, then this also explains what happened with the ending of the first game. Lightning was there, and then suddenly she wasn't, and everybody's memories changed except Sarah's. To reflect that. They're like, what? No, Lightning died with... Well, you know, she's in the Crystal Pillar with Fang and Vanille. Sarah's like, no, that's not what happened. And Sarah being a seer is probably why she's the only one whose memories were not affected. Somebody changed the future, and it changed the past to make it so Lightning wasn't there anymore. And instead she ended up inside the Crystal Pillar with Fang and Vanille. But again, Sarah was not affected by this change because she's above that, being a seer. A seeress, I guess. Assuming that's what is going on.
I have something I want to show you.
This again.
It is Lightning.
This is a recording of the future. We're unable to identify the location or circumstances. There is one thing we're sure about, however. And remember, we don't know what era this is. Lightning is alive in that place. In my memory, Lightning disappeared after the battle with Orphan. But she's living somewhere in the future.
So it's not just a dream, is it?
She's out there.
Then I'm going to find her. Koopa Koopa?
And you will find her, Sarah. After all, you traveled through time and found me.
True.
Many years of research have finally borne fruit. It all began with the Oracle Drive. We excavated it from ruins many centuries old. Yet it recorded an image of Cocoon, supported on a pillar of crystal. It was an impossibility, an enigma. Impossible.
Hold on, she distracted me with that. Alyssa here. What was it saying?
Centuries old. Yet it recorded an image of Cocoon, supported on a pillar of crystal.
Oh, I see. The Oracle Drive was found in ruins from a long time ago, but it had an image of Cocoon for, well, yeah, I see what you're saying. That's something that barely happened in this timeline, like 10 years ago, right? But this thing had a recording of that, even though it was buried in ancient ruins. It shouldn't. It basically had a recording of the future. Right.
Possibility, an enigma. Impossible, but a reality nonetheless. This is when I learned what I must do. If it was possible to journey through time and look into the future, then it must also be possible to travel backwards and change the past.
Right.
I wanted to change history, make things better. Not just bring Lightning back, but Vanille, and Fang, and my mother.
Oh.
So that's what your research was about.
Chasing the impossible, you might say. But you've made me realize something. It's clear to me now we are not the only ones who are intervening in history. Oh? The past has already been changed. Sarah, you are the only one who remembers a time when Lightning survived the fall of Cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Director!
Yeah, somebody else changed the past way before any of this started. Well, in fact, that's why this whole thing started.
Caius.
What happened? Did the prophecy get rewritten?
Not necessarily rewritten. It could be the original prophecy restored as it once was. Perhaps a continuation of the first recording.
If this is showing us the future, then someday Cocoon will fall. Noel, you told me in your time Cocoon didn't exist like it does now.
Yeah, it came to ground long before I was born. After it happened, the whole world just fell apart pretty much.
But who made it fall? Could it have been Caius?
No, he couldn't do that.
When is Cocoon supposed to fall? How many years? Is it soon?
No, not for a couple of centuries.
Oh, that's a long time from now. I mean, none of us will even be alive to see it.
But others will.
And that upsets you?
Cocoon will fall into Grand Pulse. Imagine the catastrophe. Think how many lives will be destroyed.
Right. That's the future I lived in.
It doesn't have to happen. No, we can change the future. We can stop Cocoon from falling and make your world a better place.
Well, what's gonna happen to the past?
How? You think you can go to the time when it falls and hold it up yourselves? Do you even have a gate to take you there?
Well,
It might not be necessary to travel to the specific time and place.
How so?
The future depends on what we do now, right? Yes, there is a chance Cocoon will fall, but we can start working now to prevent it from happening.
Right.
Right, because that went so well for the people you talked about last time we were here, but of course he doesn't remember that. The whole self-fulfilling prophecy thing. Maybe it's you guys trying to work on a way to keep it up that ends up causing the war that busted down in the first place. That would be really ironic and horrible, but it can happen.
But what if you can't hope?
We can at least work to mitigate the damage. If we begin our research now, we have time. Then, should Cocoon indeed fall, we can help protect the planet and save the victims.
Okay, let's do it. We could try to solve things at the other end, in the future. While you start preparing in the here and now.
Yes, let's change the future.
But it could erase this moment.
If you change the future, you change the past.
Exactly! What if this conversation never happens when they change the future?
Hope, thank you for the help.
What a fucking
Time will
mess.
separate us, but we'll share a common goal.
Hope dreamed of changing the past. The weight of history drove him forward. But now, he's turning to face the future. A future even more frightening than the past. Sarah, do you believe too? Do you believe in your own past?
Lightning was fighting in Valhalla. That's where I met her. And that's when she told me to come and find Sarah.
I see. Valhalla, otherwise known as the Unseen World.
I think Lightning wants us to fix the timeline. Put it back how it was. Maybe that's why she gave me the power to travel through time and control monsters.
She was unable to do anything on her own, so she turned to the one person she trusted more than anyone. Yes, it is possible, although the idea raises even more questions.
Will we meet Lightning again? Does the Oracle Drive show the real future? How do we save the future? Can we use the gates to change the future? There's a lot of questions about the same thing, kind of. Before they answer this, let me hear what she said again, though. I'll skip ahead.
Control I think Lightning wants us to fix the timeline.
Damn it, that was
Put
excellent.
it back how it was. Maybe that's why she gave me the power to travel through time and control monsters.
She was unable to do anything on her own, so she turned to the one person she trusted more than anyone. Yes, it is possible, although the idea raises even more questions.
Okay. They took a minute to answer
Paradox is
this one,
correct.
so that's why I was like, let me. Oh, they picked Will We Meet Lightning again?
What do we have to do to find lightning?
Solve the paradoxes, correct the timeline. Restore history as it should have been. Then you will find Lightning alive. Of that, I'm sure.
In that history, does Cocoon stay in the sky?
No. You were born into a different future. In our world, in our future, Cocoon survives. When the paradoxes are eliminated, Cocoon remains safe in the sky.
You're saying I was born into a future created by the warping of a timeline?
Yes, I believe so. My task is to save Cocoon.
Sure about that?
And we
I'll offer
have to
peace
travel
opposition.
across time to protect the future.
If we succeed, you'll be reunited with lightning. I guess we know what we have to do.
How do we know that?
Believe in your future.
It's like, how do we know that Cocoon falling isn't the actual original timeline and not falling is an alternate that we're about to create? If we can.
You can bring the people you love together again.
These assumptions they're making.
I'll
Kinda
try to help
dangerous.
in any way I can.
We tried so hard to save the pillar, together with Snow. Was it all in vain?
It was bound to collapse over time. There was no stopping it. Why did Caius interfere?
Game's a mindfuck, huh? Makes you think a lot.
You know, I started this journey hoping to find my sister. But now, I want more. I want to save the future.
So do I, Sarah. So do I. Time to travel again.
Find the gate and the key, Kupo.
Right now, we don't have a clue where the artifact might be. There are still some places we haven't checked out.
We should try asking some of the people around here. They might know something that will help.
The director came by earlier to tell us you've been granted special access to the excavation site. The area where they found the Oracle Drive is up ahead. It's exciting to think there may be other amazing objects buried there too.
Nothing to report today.
Oh, nice eye.
All right then.
That was a
Here's
tiny
the
artifact.
key.
I don't sense anything strange within the ruins, but I did feel a disturbance from the direction of the mountains. Kupo.
I guess the exclamation mark telling you that it's there, though, does kind of help. But seeing its exact spot, though, I never would have seen that. Alright, this is a good spot for me to put it to normal speed. And be back in a sec. I'm not actually going to pause the video because I'm not actually going to move that far from my PC. I'll be back in just a second.
The sun feels so amazing! Time for my feathers to soak up some of that good old vitamin D for extra fluff. Oh, Chocoboculina! Sorry, didn't see you there.
Alright, all set. And we'll go back just a bit to see the dialogue I missed, because I did have to take off my headphones, unfortunately. Yeah, I saw this much. Well, alright. Gotta get that vitamin D though, right? I'll turn on the fan too, shit. Fucking hot. Alrighty then.
Shopping here on this bright and sunny day. I think it's time to hit the beach, don't you?
Something about hitting the beach.
Thank you for shopping here on this bright and sunny day. I think it's time to hit the beach, don't you?
Okay, yeah. I heard it right. Whew.
No, we can change the future, can't we?
Well, that didn't take long to find.
No, we can change the future, can't we?
We can, and we will. Then we can go back to homes that we've made safe.
Lightning. Thanks to Hope, I can see light at the end of the tunnel. He
You're
told
still pretty
us
far
that
from
if
it.
we solve the paradox, we can save the future.
But
Meanwhile,
yeah.
in his own way, and in his own time, Hope is working toward the same goal. Together, we can keep Cocoon safe. And if we do, then I know I'll be able to bring you home. I believe this with all my heart.
Believing things doesn't make them true. But damn it if we don't try, right?
How many times must I see this?
We saw Sarah get affected in a very similar fashion earlier. What was it, when they were activating time gates? Yeah, when they were activating time gates, close around the time when we saw Snow. Maybe a little before that. Sarah was having a hard time, like it was affecting her, and Noel asked her if something was wrong, and she tried to act like she was fine. So Yule's affected similarly whenever they go through a time gate.
Time and memory, frozen in crystal. Sarah and Noel emerge from the gate at the entrance to an extravagant palace. But with the doors firmly locked and no sign of occupants, the two are forced to return the way they came.
Once in a while, we end up in this special Historia Crux, not the one we know. We get these three choices. At least that's what happened last time. Okay, skip too far ahead. Still can't go in there. So we're going back. They probably had to make a stop here to trigger something later. The void beyond again? Yep. Again. Okay.
Another detour?
It's easy to get lost when you leap across time, Kupo.
We can go back to the gate anytime. Let's take a breather.
Again, like last time.
Say, Sarah. You remember when you told me that you saw lightning in me, in your dreams?
Yeah.
Are you still having them?
No. The last time I saw lightning was the night before we met. Although, I've had lots of dreams about what happened the next day.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
I was just curious.
He's wondering if the past has
Alright.
changed.
My turn. I want to know about Yule.
I don't know anything about either of the Yules you met.
What do you mean? She could be a time traveler, right? Just like you and me and Snow.
I don't think so. She's like a reincarnation. A new Yule born over and over. In each generation of the Farseers, a girl with the same face, the same power is born. That girl is always called Yule.
So you're saying every age we travel to, there's a different Yule waiting? A Yule from Erba and a Yule from Yasha's Massif.
But they're all different. And neither are the Yule I knew. Although it took me a long time to actually start believing it.
So that means the Yule that we saw at the beginning of the game in the cinematic, where Caius fights lightning, doesn't necessarily mean that's the future of the same Yules we've been seeing. It's just probably a different fucking Yule who's dying right there. That's why Caius said, how many times must I see this? Maybe Yule died right in his arms, when her arm flopped to the ground just now. And he's already seen her die multiple times, just different reincarnations of her. Which also means that could actually... Maybe the scene of Valhalla is not the future, but also the past. The whole flat circle thing. I don't know. Knowing it's not the same Yule anymore kind of takes away the certainty that it's the future now. In a way. We don't really know if that's the future. We were assuming that because we thought it was the same Yule. It's like, oh, that's where she dies. But no, there could just be a totally different Yule from a completely different time period, past or future.
No, I've been thinking. If we keep traveling through time and resolving paradoxes and changing history, doesn't that mean the future you come from will change along with everything else?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it'll become a future where I never existed.
Is that possible?
Sure.
Yeah.
It is. But it's okay if it does. There's too much sadness in my world. Your future would be better if it never happened at all. Well, come on. Let's go. We've got a date with Lightning, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kupo?
That's tough, isn't it?
Something looks different from the last time we were here. Mog, is this even the same place?
This is the Void Beyond, Kupo. It's just one of the many shadows of Valhalla to be found, Kupo.
So it looks similar, but it's really a separate world. That's why there are all these little differences.
Makes sense. Let's go see what changed.
Potent chips. If I read that item name correctly.
Come on, Mom.
Excuse me. Oh, I guess that's it. Done exploring. Erba and Academia. Serendipity. Casino.
Minstrels of old sang of a secret place. A place that hid on the border between life and death. Between oblivion and eternity. In that mythical niche could be found a palace of wondrous entertainment. It was a fantastical Neverland, with a staff of surpassing beauty, and a proprietor who was more than human. Only those blessed by Lady Luck would ever stumble through its legendary doors. And now, as if plucked from a children's storybook, that very palace looms invitingly before Sarah and Noel.
The same place they were attempting to go into before, but the doors were locked and there was no one around. The place they visited before that piece of Valhalla just now. They might not be in the same place though. But yeah. No, yeah, they landed in the same exact spot. Yep. Here again. Now the place is alive though. Shit's moving and happening.
Wow, check it out. What is this place?
I don't think it's a theme park. Maybe a casino? But I've never seen anything like it before.
The door's open this time.
Well, I guess it's worth taking a look.
Good thing we have an entrance ticket from the last time we were here.
Welcome to our timeless paradise, Serendipity. You guys are travelers lost in time, right? Is this your first time here?
Wait, so you know who we are?
All sorts of people come here for different reasons. Don't worry, we won't try to get in the way of you having fun. In this place, we're all just servants of the goddess. You might know her as Lady Luck.
I don't really know much about gambling or placing bets.
All the better. You've heard of beginner's luck, haven't you? To play the games, you'll need to purchase some casino coins from the exchange desk. Go, enjoy!
Hitting the casino. Why not forget the passage of time for a while and visit the wondrous gaming halls of Serendipity? It's an appropriate name. A moment between life and death. A place like this? Yeah, it's kind of fitting. In this casino at the edge of eternity, all the gambling is done using casino coins. When you've amassed a sufficient number, exchange them for prizes only found here. Casino coins can be purchased with skills, so makes the exchange desk your first stop. Yeah, it's like a real casino. Trade in your currency, the more widely accepted currency, for their currency, the casino currency, the chips. Well, this ought to be interesting. Another casino ticket? We already had one. Mog went away to play? You little shit! Get back here. We got shit to do. He's still with us though.
My dear travelers of time, I see you have in your possession some fragments. Do you know their power?
Well, we're not exactly sure what they do.
Those fragments are remnants of a time past. The goddess's will is that they fall into the hands of those with the purest of hearts.
So are they something we're supposed to have, or...?
You too are their rightful bearers. You will find more as you continue your journey in the outside world. Come back and present them to me, and I shall grant you a humble gift.
Fragments in the Mystic. They're just like Chocolina. And see, wasn't I just saying about how Las Vegas has, especially in front of the casinos, has women dressed in a similar fashion, but with flamingo attire? Obviously not Chocobo. And then they have these chicks dressed like this here at a casino. What a coincidence. I wonder where the inspiration came from. Once you've collected a large number of fragments, it's time to visit the Mystic. Fragment skills, huh?
clear as day. You were the ones chosen by the goddess. The fragments you carry are proof of her faith in you.
All this manifestation. The Moogle throw is new and improved. Even if you don't see treasure, just throw them in different directions. So that's a fragment skill. This game has a lot to do, doesn't it?
If you present me with any fragment,
Haggler, sell price, improved Moogle throw. Nice. Can buy things cheaper now. And pick up hidden treasures with throwing Mog everywhere.
Welcome, guys. Serendipity is the most fantastic place you'll ever visit in your life.
Hello there, and welcome to Serendipity. It's a place where dreams come true.
Yeehaw.
The first rule of gambling is knowing when to quit. But I do like watching the patrons get excited about letting their bets ride. They look so hopeful. I recommend the slot machines to any first-timers. If you want to show off the chocobo, the chocobo races are the way to go. Some areas are still...
They look so hopeful, and then eventually that just slowly fades away. That hope slowly gets robbed of them as they lose more and more of their money. It's always rigged against you.
Did you know? A new play area will be open soon. An exciting new game will be available, one that everyone will love. It'll be nothing like you've ever experienced before. I can tell you're excited about the prospect of more fun. I wonder when construction is scheduled to end.
There are many enjoyable ways to spend your time here. Save up your coins for fantastic prizes.
If she hadn't kept talking, I was gonna say when she said her first sentence, knowing when to quit, and I was like, knowing when to quit is before you even start. Just don't do it from the beginning. Just don't start in the first place.
I like to bring chocobos and watch them place in the races.
Welcome to the chocobo races. I see you have a way with animals. I think that's wonderful.
This
You have a
music
chocobo
again.
in your party? You need to register your chocobo, and he'll be able to participate immediately. You can win casino coins by betting on the races. Why don't you give it a try?
Last time I heard this chocobo theme was in the first game. Just like the Gold Saucer in FF7 and FF14, we got chocobo races, amongst other gambling stuff. Go race the ponies, go bet on them. It's chocobos instead of horses though. Same concept though.
The additional play areas will be available soon. The game's so simple, yet requiring immense knowledge and strategy. That is what will await you when you return. Our greatest wish is for the patrons to enjoy their time here. To make that happen, we will do anything within our power.
So many green dots. So many NPCs to talk to. Oh, and treasure too, I guess. It was kind of strange.
Do you have any questions on how to play any of the games?
Yeah, it was kind of strange how, like,
in order to play the slot machines.
in FF13 they introduced Nautilus. Big ass theme park, and they make you think you're gonna be able to do this, basically. And no, just a story beat. You're just passing through as you continue on the linear storyline track that that game puts you on and pushes you on, basically. You don't actually... I don't know if there were any minigames you could actually play. I think it's just... you literally just go through there. That must have been pretty disappointing for a lot of people, and so in this game they were like, alright, we'll give you an actual, like, theme park casino thing so you can fuck around.
Good day and welcome. Oh, you come from an interesting and familiar time. Have we met before?
If we did, I don't remember. So what is this place anyway?
Well, my friend, this is a haven, a little morsel of heaven. We stand far above the dull reality of the outside world. This is a place that only exists in dreams, a happy notion, a manifestation of the mind.
Is it almost like a rift in time?
If that's what you took from my words, then yes. A true outside world. This is a place that only exists in dreams, a happy notion, a manifestation of the mind.
Okay, notion.
Like a rift in time?
If that's what you took from my words, then yes. A true gambler needs only luck. Only a novice gambler relies on skill to make his winnings.
Sure.
Welcome. This is where you can exchange your coins.
Meanwhile, there's a bunch of professional gamblers who make tons of money doing, you know, poker and stealing money from casinos, rightfully so, using great blackjack skills, counting cards and all that stuff. But of course, they would sell the propaganda of, oh, you don't need to do all that. No, right, because if we don't, we'll just be giving you our money for free.
In order to play the games at the casino, first you'll need to purchase casino points here. Once you've won yourself more casino points, you can come back and trade them in for prizes.
Casino never wants you to win. Why would they tell you to try to use any skill? Like counting cards. In blackjack.
May you be blessed by the goddess of fortune.
Well, at this point, it's out of my hands. I hope this works.
Why, hello there. Is our selection to your liking? I didn't mean to pressure you into choosing something. We're all friends here, you know. As long as you have money, of course.
Not very subtle, are you?
There it is.
I just tell it like it is. Would you rather I lie to you? Some
Like
free
that other guy?
Stick with what you're comfortable with, and you won't regret a thing. But it doesn't hurt to experiment a little. Try a few different things. What you need to do is
Sound
be big
advice.
and lose small. Do the opposite, and you walk out of here with nothing.
Easier said than done, though.
The machines have good days and bad days. How well you do depends on their mood. Talk to me if you want to know the condition of any of the machines we have here.
Oh, fuck? Really?
It's not doing well, but it's not doing poorly either.
Okay, then. Interesting gambling mechanics. So it's neutral, basically, right now.
Speaking of which, I wonder how Saz is doing. We used to have a little chocobo just like this one.
Yeah,
Funny if
little
he actually came
cutie.
here too.
Chocobo chick down. Oh, we did see images of him in the preview for this time period, so... maybe we will find him here eventually. Probably just not right now, though. Makes sense. He got, you know... he got the Chocobo Chicken Nautilus, which is a similar little theme park. It makes sense if he ends up in a place like that. Well, saving takes a while. Look at this. Jesus. That was double speed, too. Back to the Archive step for some reason. Maybe there was a new gate. You have to revisit old areas.
So the fragment was causing a storm. The monster swallowed it by accident, but it kept working inside it.
Exactly. That's why it seemed the storm was coming right out its mouth.
Oh, I see.
Come across stone tablets.
It's been a while since we saw that, though.
It's in your interest to learn about.
The sheep wandering the plains were so fluffy. They're downright adorable.
There's the original
The
weather.
storm is gone. I don't know how to thank you two.
The cactus! The cactor! Cactoroni? Interesting. He's white with red eyes and mouth. Kind of a freaky looking cactor. Cactoroni, what is he, an Italian food then? Like rigatoni or something? Actually, I'll be honest, I don't even know what rigatoni is. But I've heard the word before, so... I think it is supposed to be some kind of food, but... So, you know, I can't even say we're a quarter of the way through, because I forget each part in this playlist is actually slightly different in length. Or significantly different in length. Some of them are 2 hours and other ones are barely an hour, over an hour like this one. Going only by parts, I would say we're a quarter of the way. But again, because they're different lengths, each one, can't really say. Hidden treasure. Bombs! Bob burst. I vaguely remember that DLC monsters, I think I mentioned this before, one of them included an Omega, and if you defeated it you could actually have it as one of your party members.
In 400 AF.
But I mean, he takes up such a huge chunk of the screen, it's hard to imagine what that would look like, because Omega's fucking huge. Academia 400 AF, we haven't been here before.
Is the de facto government, their crowning achievement as Academia. A magnificent city which surpasses any that existed on Cocoon under the fal'Cie hegemony. The man that laid the foundations for the project was Hope Estime, the leader of the Academy in its formative years. Science has progressed to the stage where mankind is able to build its own artificial fal'Cie. Powered by this proto-fal'Cie, human society flourishes like never before.
The tables have turned. Now the fal'Cie work for us. Nice, I like it. Seemed like the most logical thing to do, yeah. Create machines that could imitate what they did. But that obviously aren't, you know, sentient and enslaving us. Because they ran society pretty efficiently on Cocoon. So it makes sense to try and imitate that and harness it for ourselves. Why not?
The power to influence the future. The power to alter destiny. Such an ability may,
Episode
if
4.
one was not careful, change a
Skyborn
person's
Paradise.
fate for the worse.
Academia.
One was not careful.
Struggling to read how they put the episodes like that distracts me from what Lightning is saying in the narration and the fucking subtitles, so I have to go back sometimes.
Such an ability may, if one was not careful, change a person's fate for the worse.
Yep.
Such power was never meant for mortal man. There are none who possess the wisdom to wield it. Sarah, you must seek out your own answers as you waver at the edge of despair.
Ain't that the truth?
Wow. How do you build something like this?
Years of scientific research and hard work.
A little bit at a time, I guess.
Yeah, like that. Exactly.
It probably took a lot of people working together over decades, maybe even centuries, to make this city what it is now.
Right on
They
the
had a
money.
vision for the future, and it grew from there, huh? You
How
know
it
what,
usually
Sarah?
goes.
I used to think the only way to make a better future was to change something right away, in the here and now. But creating something for people to build on, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Even if it can't be completed in one lifetime, it's still worth starting. If you believe that someone in the next generation will take up the same ideal, then the dream lives on.
Yeah,
That sounds like Hope's way.
definitely.
I wish you could have seen it.
Yule, you mean? She's very special to you, isn't she?
She was, but I couldn't protect her.
Nice callback to that conversation with Snow. That looks like the vestige that had Anima.
Huh?
In the first game. Yeah. What did it see on her arm?
Who did this?
Not a human. Only Faust.
I didn't even get a chance to finish that sentence. These things came at them right away. See? Ghouls. Forgot that's what their first form was called. The weak ones.
We gotta stop it.
Perhaps they recreated Fallacy a little too well, didn't they? The one inside that vestige, like the one the animal was in, just looks straight at them and immediately turns those people into thieves to attack them. Nice pun there. Mog. Couldn't get away in time.
Let's get back to it. Here we go.
Shit. Don't sneeze.
All sections of academia on high alert.
What threat? I hope they're not talking about us.
Oh, they are.
The bots must see us as intruders.
That can't be good. We should look for a way to slip through.
This terminal's on. Shall we do some snooping?
Snoop away. We can't fight back if we don't know what we're facing.
Simple enough.
Who's closing things off?
I don't think it is a who. This is all the work of machines.
Seems like it, yeah. Automated city?
I'm working on restoring
Again,
the network.
rational, but
The database is being flooded with corrupt information.
Corrupt
when that
information?
happens, yeah.
Is that a side effect of the paradox?
That's when it can spell trouble.
At this rate, it won't be long before the entire network is infected.
Is there anything we can do to help?
Then the whole city gets turned against you.
The paradox seems to be spreading from our topographical databanks. If we can replace this section with the correct data, maybe we can stop the corruption.
And we can help you do this?
Yes, you can. What we need is data from places that someone has physically visited. We need area maps that are 100% confirmed.
That sounds like a chore. Deliver all of your explored maps.
Data on the Son of Waterscape, and I was just looking at that file.
Good thing they've been filling out the maps.
I sure hope we can restore all our time.
You have to stay away from the security bots. They're out of control and attacking humans left and right.
Oh, thinking about the sea makes me so sad. They used to be regular people, you know? They lived their lives just like you and me. Well, not exactly like me, of course, since I'm not human.
Right.
I feel so blue, but I might feel better if you buy something.
I was like, yeah, you're not a regular person, though. It's a good thing that wasn't lost on her, and she actually mentions it.
Thank you kindly. I hope my shop is helping people in some way, no matter how indirectly.
Of course. The preemptive makes for a quick battle. Ruinga, so Ruin 3. This mini Flan has kind of become a permanent party member. The player has been keeping them for a lot of things.
That guy must have been a gatekeeper, huh?
Guess so. Now we know how to get past the rest of these barricades.
Yeah, what I was saying earlier, having a fully automated city, yeah, it would make it incredibly efficient. You type one wrong line of code, though, or don't put a lot of redundancy when it comes to safety nets and, you know, backup plans when something goes haywire, because something always can, then you end up with this kind of situation. That's why redundancy is key. Like having more than one backup autopilot system on an airplane or something. Just to give a very basic example. You can sort that out though, and make it reasonably safe. Then yeah, smart city system would make things run very smoothly.
Did you just say Falsi?
Yes, you did. Let me go back and hear that. I forgot to put it down to 1.5 speed. Proto-Falsi, Adam. Yeah. Like a prototype Falsi. They might finish their dialogue.
That can't be right. Have the Fal'Cie somehow come back and taken over from the Covenant?
What's to say? I guess we'll find out. It's too bad the battles interrupted that dialogue. I guess that's it. That's all I had to say. I like the name though. Proto-Fal'Cie Adam. Considering the one ruling cocoon was called Eden, it, you know, it's poetic in a way. It follows the biblical theme. Eden, Adam, the first human. In this case, Adam could be the first man-made Fal'Cie. Hence Proto-Fal'Cie. Prototype.
Not this way.
More of this!
Great.
No, I think we're trapped.
I think you're right.
Just no matter how advanced the technology to run a city like this is, computers and machines only do what you programmed them to, so what they'll do and how they'll function and how they'll run the city is completely dependent on our fucking cultural values in the end.
All right.
The values of our society.
We won't fight anymore, so why don't you show yourself?
That's where it all starts.
Caius.
Oh shit!
Tend to capitulate and buy yourself time. It's not a bad strategy.
You've got no reason to fight me, Caius.
Wrong. You are the enemy. You are contradictions in the timeline. I have every reason to eliminate you. 200 years ago, you learned the forbidden history, and were entombed in that tower as a consequence. But now you stand before me alive and well once again. What can that be if not a paradox?
Towers and forbidden histories? What's he talking about? Could it be something from the future?
Could be. Maybe at some point we travel 200 years before this time and encounter Caius there. But I don't plan on letting him kill us.
There is no mistake. You are one and the same. A distortion, a contradiction.
Caius, this is unlike you. If we're in your way, why not just stop us yourself?
A fitting sacrifice was required for you to comprehend your transgressions. To that end, I enlisted some assistance.
Sarah!
Right.
Again. Another fight.
One down, more to go.
What the fuck?
Why? Why would you do that?
Cocoon's Fal'Cie were like that too.
They would always, yeah, prioritize the greater good over everything else. In this case, they see, you know, space-time distortions being preserved or prevented as being more valuable than the citizenry of the entire city. What did I just say? The technology does whatever we want it to. How it's programmed, right? We'll program it to do whatever we value most. This is a reflection of that. They programmed the prototype Fal'Cie to value this over human life. You get out of it what you put into it. It all starts with the values.
These people, this is happening because of us.
They're all getting turned into Seath. This place is fat.
Can't stop. It's just for cut.
Your very existence poisons the timeline and invites disaster.
He really is convinced we're the cause of this paradox, huh?
Vermin, if this tragedy is to come to an end, no trace of you can remain in this reality.
Caius, we gotta catch him and make him talk.
Take it easy.
Find out what he knows.
If we rush in, we might just lose sight of him.
Get him, Vic. Gotta find out what he knows. Oh shit!
I cannot let you escape.
True history. Which part was that?
Yeah.
Enemies because of something that happened in the past. So we travel back in time and find out why.
You mean go back 200 years and look for this tower? Okay, let's find a gate and figure it out.
Hey, do you think there could be a gate on the far side?
And Caius smash the bridge to block our path? If he thinks that's gonna stop us, he can think again.
Preemptive. They're fighting over there.
No, look! Now he's over there!
Damn.
Where are you going, Caius? Stand and fight me!
They put so much of that dialogue that happens in real time in a place filled with battles. So it just keeps getting interrupted and cut off. Guess it couldn't be helped because of the nature of this entire scene, though.
Don't let him get to you.
The nature of what's happening, you know. It would be more dull if they weren't saying anything. But again, this is also kind of an example of why they kind of just did away with the entire encounter system to begin with, and encounters are now all in real time ever since FF15, you know, FF7 Remake. You know, you don't have to attack an enemy or touch them and then go into a battle like this anymore. The battle just takes place right then and there. In the overworld. Like here, basically.
We'll just run into another trap.
That way this doesn't happen. The character's dialogue being interrupted and like that until you finish the battle, and then you miss the part of it too. The turn-based battle system, and the pseudo-turn-based battle system as I like to call it, the active time battle, was invented with Final Fantasy 4 or 5, I think. Doing away with that is just because they realize more people are fans of like action RPGs now rather than a turn-based style. Just doesn't sell well anymore. That's a slightly different topic or subject, but yeah, that's pretty much the reason why. This kind of gameplay right here, it just doesn't keep people's attention anymore. You need it to be more involved, more hands-on, more engaging. That said, I think FF7 Remake so far is probably the best fusion of active time battle with real-time action RPG elements that I've seen, like, ever. The way the active time battle elements work in that game, combined with the hack and slash gameplay, is basically what I'm getting at, is really fucking good. I guess they probably know they're going into a fight. Save your game. I wonder why they choose to do that. They come here first, but then they decide to save. Oh, I see. As soon as mid-sentence, I understood why they're doing that. They were about to customize the characters and upgrade them using Crystal Gen points, but then they decide to save first in case they fuck up their build and want to change it later. If the fight doesn't go well. I'm guessing there's going to be a boss fight in a minute. I was like, why not save after doing all this so you don't have to do it again if you have to reload your save file? Because then you can't change builds. Good foresight.
Guess we fight.
Just a normal battle for now. Okay, never mind. These guys are kind of tough. Volt.
Another pack.
It's Yule! Just got fucking stepped on. Okay, now things are heating up. changed the music, but it's the same enemy that they just fought. Still has the same name anyway. I think fucking stepped on you. Swim. Cinco estrellas.
You?
5 stars.
Are you okay? No!
Fuck! Another one! Jesus Christ.
No.
He's fucking pissed. Now we're actually at the actual boss fight, alright. Zenobia. Nice name.
This should do it. Okay, this'll work.
Is it the same boss music that they use for the flame? The giant flame? I feel like it is. So they have 2 standard boss fight musics that they switch between in this game, I guess. Yeah, it sounds like it. Oh my god. The last button they almost didn't hit in time. That was good. Look at all the buffs, dude. That the whole party has. So many. There's so much going on. This is fucking chaos right now. Oh my god, all the wounding. I'm not a fan of this music, I gotta say.
Get him! This should do it.
It's just, it's way over the top, man. I missed the battle music and boss battle music from the original Final Fantasy 13, I gotta say. The right levels of intensity.
You. No! Look out!
Oh shit! Dude, where'd we miss that? That would've been violent.
I've got it!
Oh shit! Absolutely fucking wrecked. The enemy at least, not us.
You'll lie!
I saw death. If I were to live, it would bring contradiction to the timeline.
But why?
It's because of us. Just like Kaya said, we're causing a paradox to occur. Because of that, Yul has to... She has to
die.
Caius?
She's like, oh.
Caius is not here.
You mean he's not here in the city?
Yul, hold on, please!
No, I am not the Yul you once knew. But thank you.
For the love of Etro, don't thank me.
So the fallacy saw them as a paradox. That's why it suddenly attacked them using Cease. Turning people into Cease to attack them. When they first got here. Through the time gate.
The way.
Oh. Thanks for letting us know, Mug. Nice way to force your way down. Oh my god. The brute force method. The fuck? A fragment. So the overall, it goes back to the sad music when you come back to this plot. Jesus, that's fucking weird. It just went back to this intense music when you went back there, but then, okay. Anyway, the overall flow of the story is very linear still, but at least all the maps and areas you get to explore are not. So that's still kind of an upgrade for those who wanted more freedom in the first game, you know? There's actual exploration. But you still have to visit the areas in a linear fashion. The story still has a, you know, a certain flow it has to stick to. And we're at the end of this video. And coincidentally at the end of my stream too. I actually went over a little bit because I wanted to see how this ended. This particular chapter, this time period that they're in. I was like, you know what, I'll keep going a little bit longer than where I was planning to stop. Excuse me. I actually would have stopped like 10 minutes ago. Whew, Jesus. I think I'll be going to bed soon.
Yule saw everything, you realize that? She knew exactly what would happen today. There was never a time she didn't.
But even so, she didn't try to avoid her fate.
It's the law of the Farseers. Seers must not change history to save themselves. Because if they do, they can doom thousands of others to a worse fate instead.
Makes sense,
How
yeah.
about it? Ready for the truth?
That's a tough life.
The law of the Farseers.
I'm surprised it's a terrible thing to live by, exactly. I'm surprised there hasn't been a single seer that has tried to deny themselves that fate, and be more selfish and be like, nah, fuck that. I'm using this ability I was born with to do whatever the hell I want.
It's a terrible thing to live by.
Well,
Because
that
to
hasn't
obey
happened.
it means someone has to sacrifice themselves.
Yep.
Lightning, tell me, is there no way for us to save everybody?
Sometimes
No
there
one
isn't.
traveling through these gates because we believe we can change our fate. But even as we do, I can't forget what Yule said. She said Caius isn't in this city. But if that's true, who was it that we met here?
I'm starting to think maybe it wasn't. It was very intentional for him to have the same voice as Bartandalus. That's it. The video ends there. My stream ends here. Perfect place to. Because I mean, at this point, it's just traveling through time. Just a loading screen for that, and then choosing a different time period. So we'll leave it at that. That little somber note that Sarah just gave us. See, the times are so different. 132, 156, 114, 147, 106. It varies so much, doesn't it? Oh yeah, and after I close off the stream, I'm gonna have to check the website to see if the video player there works fine on my computer. Because after part 8, we have to move to the long play website to finish watching the rest. They didn't upload the rest. Part 9 through 19 is not on YouTube. I looked for it. It's not there. So we have to finish watching on the website. So I'll check that out off stream after I finish. Make sure we'll be able to actually finish watching this playthrough. Otherwise, I guess this is the only playthrough I was able to find. So if we can't, I'll have to switch to... I'll have to go find a playlist just with the cutscenes, which is usually one long video. It became like a thing in the past few years to just take the cutscenes of a video game, which is kind of shit because I like to see the fights, especially when it's an important fight, like boss fights, the final boss fight, in particular, of course. But if we have to resort to that, then that's what we'll have to do. If the website player for the World of Long Places doesn't work that well, I'll check. I'll find a YouTube video that's probably like, what, 10 hours or something? That's just all the cutscenes in the game. spliced together. With none of the gameplay. They call them movie videos. As if you're watching a movie. So yeah. I'll figure that out after the stream. Hopefully the website just works so we can just continue the playthrough we're already watching. But I'm done for now, so as always, I appreciate the everyone who came to watch, the likes and subscribes and follows on YouTube and Twitch. And please, like I always say, please take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, look after each other. And until next time, please have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Take care of yourselves, be well. Peace. Well, story's pretty interesting. Curious to see what happens next. Alright, bye everybody.